the tune I've chosen for today is a Shetland tune, a very old Shetland tune, for the 6th of January, called The Day Dawn, and I chose it because for a long time it was played as the first tune to be played on Old Christmas Morning, which in lots of places was the 6th. Some parts, some adjacent villages and things, it might be the 5th or the 12th or the 13th or the 14th. It gets complicated when you try to line calendars up. But the 6th is a common one. Sometimes it's called Epiphany when you're on a more regular calendar. Sometimes, I think in the Irish tradition, it's known as Women's Christmas, or has been at some point. And sort of the day after that 12 days of Christmas or 12 days of midwinter period has always seems to have been always fairly significant, whatever whatever tradition you're in. But for a lot of Shetland, it was the Old Christmas, and this is The Day Dawn, which is an old Christmas tune. Oh, to be played on that day. I actually think it's quite an interesting little tune. I think it quite sounds almost more like a Norwegian Halling than something Scottish, but I mean that's kind of where Shetland is, really. So that sort of makes sense. I've taken the sorry. I've taken the tuning. I've taken my notes from a couple of recordings on Tobar and Dualchais, or Kist. Some from Tom Anderson, there's another recording from Peter, somebody whose name I'll put in the caption. And I've sort of followed the older gents, Peter's timing more so, but I've still used a bit more of the notes from Tom Anderson's recording because he's a bit clearer with his notes, and it is also a bit easier to adapt to a viola. But I might at some point quite like to take it down a fifth maybe and make it a bit easier to play on viola, and then I can play all of the notes in the other version, but for now I'll leave it in its original key. Yeah, The Day Dawn. Fun wee one. The day dawn.